Hey guys, welcome back. I just filmed this look with a bunch of new products. Most of them are new, and that's why I wanted to do this video. I have been sent some things. I have bought some things that I have not used on my channel before, and sometimes they never get talked about, and I wanted to try out some brand new things today. I am happy to do updates on all of these things because I don't really like first impressions. That's not usually the kind of thing that I do. So let me know what format you guys would like to see those updates in. I am open to suggestions, so leave those below. If you're not following my channel, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you join the family, and go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, and follow me over on Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and all those good things, because we have a great community over in those areas too, and a lot of times you get things over there that don't ever end up over here or in advance of being over here. This get ready with me, is this gonna be a get ready with me? I'm not sure. It may just be trying new things. It might be a little bit longer because I am taking you basically from my skincare through the end of this makeup look, because a lot of times you guys want to know exactly how I proceed from start to finish. So that's what I'm doing today. With that being said, we can get into the video. I put my facial oil underneath my eyes right after I wash my face so that it could be soaking in. You guys know I don't take sponsorships unless it's a product I believe in, I've gotten to try out, or I think you guys would be interested in it. This video is sponsored by Ella Frida Organics. I've talked about them on my channel before as a good, affordable option for some skincare if you really just don't want to break the bank, but you want some decent skincare alternatives. They have retinol moisturizer, a facial moisturizer. These are good for nighttime. And then in the morning, this vitamin C serum and hyaluronic acid serum, which is what I'm using today. But all of these are priced around $15, $16. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them from their website. I'll have links down below. But I did want to mention them, and I'm happy to mention them to you because there are some decent, affordable brands that are organic, that are good for your skin. And my skin is pretty sensitive, and these have done my skin pretty well. What I've been doing is applying the vitamin C serum first. You don't have to shake it. I'm just in this habit of shaking everything before I apply it. It's really light, it's really watery, and I feel like it sinks in nicely. And then after that, I'm going to apply the hyaluronic acid serum, which is just a nice clear serum, and it also sinks in really, really nice. I did put my hair back because it was getting in the way of my skincare, and it will get in the way of my foundation too when I go to put that on. It's unscented, but it smells clean at the same time. I don't know how to explain it. But like I said, I have sensitive skin, and this has never irritated my skin. It's also combination oily, and it doesn't make me oilier throughout the day. I'm not one that can wait between skincare products in the morning to apply, so I'm gonna go right in with my Paula's Choice Resist sunscreen, shake it up really, really well, and then just apply a decent amount of that sunscreen onto my face all over. I don't really worry about getting it under my eyes because if you've been following my channel, you know the new product that I apply under my eyes has sunscreen in it, and it's also a corrector. This is the point where I put my eye cream on. I'm using Kiehl's Avocado. It does have kind of a weird texture if you're not used to it. It is green like avocado. If your fingers are wet or if your under eye area is wet, it won't really stick. You have to kind of just press it into moisturized or dry skin. I say moisturized if you put oil underneath your eyes. As long as it's not super wet, it will go in. But I just pat that underneath my eyes. I'm gonna let it soak in for a little bit. I'm gonna use this combo of BECCA Velvet Blurring Primer Perfecting Base and BECCA Ultimate Coverage Complexion Cream. I've used the Perfecting Base. I like it a lot, actually, but I have never used this foundation before. I'm actually gonna wear it through the day, and I'll put in the description box how I think that it wore. I'm shaking up the primer right now because it does have to be shaken pretty well. I got it free from Octoly, so I'm anxious to try it. If you're not familiar with Octoly, can you hear that little shaker in there? If you're not familiar with Octoly, you apply to receive product. If you are a creator and if they deem your channel a good fit, they will send it to you to try. I've applied for things and I have not gotten them because they didn't think my channel fit their criteria, certain brands. But I bought this primer and I've been using it off and on, and I really like it. It's very smooth. It keeps me pretty matte. It kind of reminds me of my Hourglass Veil Primer. It has a slight tint to it. I feel like it kind of does a blend of everything. It blurs my pores, kind of fills them in. It gives me a nice base. It smooths my skin. It just does all the good things that a primer should do. This isn't a full foundation road test, so I'm going to go through this foundation application pretty quickly, and then I'll just tell you what I think. I think I'm going to try to do half with a brush and half with a sponge. This is a weird foundation. I definitely like the coverage better with a brush, but it didn't look quite smooth. It kind of made me look dry in spots with a brush. And I felt like I needed a sponge for the second layer to make it look kind of smooth. And I feel like buff, it's not gonna work in the summer, that's for sure. I am going to need a bronzer to warm this up. I mean, good Lord, how dark do my circles look now? Okay, here's what I'm gonna do, if I can find it. Where is it? Under one eye, I'm gonna use this nice little, what is this called? Anti-Fatigue Under Eye Primer from BECCA. Under the other eye, I am not. We are going to see which eye looks better, and I'm also going to use my little coconut oil trick. If you haven't watched my channel, I have a video where I talk about like under eye trouble things and how to remedy them, and I do talk about coconut oil. I've been using this for a little bit now. I'm not sure how I feel about it, so that's why I wanted to do half and half today. I feel like you can't really feel it. It is lightweight. You almost can't even tell you've got any on your finger. I don't get the cooling effect that a lot of people get, and maybe that's because I put an oil under my eye and an eye cream. I don't know. I never feel the cooling effect. There are some people that swear by it. So that's the eye. I don't know. Can you tell? Did it help with my dark circle? Maybe it did. I correct my dark circle anyway. So I don't know if that's going to make a difference in the end once I conceal. So I'm going to let that set a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and put a dab of coconut oil under both eyes. Just a dab. I'm talking the most minute amount ever. Yes, over the primer. It just helps everything look a little better when all is said and done. Today I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus eyeshadow primer, which is fairly new to me. I used to use the Milani eyeshadow primer quite often. That was kind of my go-to eyeshadow primer. The texture of this one is a little more tacky. If you have really dry eyelids, I wouldn't use this, but this isn't quite as drying as, say, a paint pot. It doesn't emphasize the texture on my lids. I feel like it sets pretty well. I still do need to set it with a powder, so I'm going to do that now. Also new to me are the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealers. I have shade C4 for under my eyes and C5 for my face. These are supposed to be the dupes for Tarte Shape Tape. I've used them a couple times. I think the coverage is good. I don't think it's quite Tarte Shape Tape level. I think with a corrector underneath for under your eyes, it's pretty comparable. But I definitely see a difference when I'm trying to conceal my sunspots on my face. I don't think that it has Shape Tape coverage when I'm concealing my face, for sure. It may be that I'm using a corrector under my eyes, so I don't really notice the difference under my eyes as much because, you know, the coverage seems pretty good because I'm using a corrector under my eyes. And I don't think it's quite as drying as Shape Tape, so if you're looking for a drugstore option, it'd probably be worth looking into, at least trying. It's not expensive. But before I go in, under my eyes, I'm going in with my Color Science Total Eye 3-in-1 Renewal Therapy, which I've talked about in that video that I have linked down below for the dark circles and texture under your eyes. This is my new go-to corrector and treatment all in one. I love this stuff, and it's got SPF 35 in it. It's just a total win-win for me, and it moisturizes my under eye area. I love this stuff. I definitely found I don't need as much concealer with that Color Science product, which is really nice. I just hit the darkest points again so they don't look so sunken in. That is a problem for me. It's that hollowed area. With Shape Tape, when I take that lightest shade down my nose as a highlight, it completely pretty much covers these little sunspots that are on my nose. I find that the Makeup Revolution does not do quite as good of a job. And I've been doing with the Charlotte Tilbury powder that I love so much. I've talked about in another video. I have been doing kind of a combination under my eyes to set. I get the creases right up under my eye that crease right away with a sponge, and then I dust with a brush under the rest of my eye. Sometimes, not every day. And then I'll take, this has been kind of my brush that I've been using a lot, is this Delium Tools Tapered Contour 944 brush right under the eye. It's really, really soft. Now I use either a sponge or a brush with the Charlotte Tilbury powder. Sometimes I'll just take a sponge and dab it lightly in and then press it on my T-zone areas where I get really shiny, or on my smile lines, just to really set those areas really, really good. And you don't have to dab it hard into the product. And then I'll do a brush for the rest of my face. I haven't used this palette on my channel yet. It's the Tarte Park Avenue Princess palette. I'm going to use this shade right here to contour. I don't think I'm going to contour very heavy, but do a little something, something. You get some mega pigment from this palette. I do have to tap off my brush first. And to bronze, I'm going to use Carrot right here. I just want to add a little warmth to my face because I'm so pale right now. So I'm just kind of adding a little bit of warmth wherever I might naturally get sun, and down my neck, just a little bit. Okay, so here is what I'm most excited about to show you from everything that is new or new to me. I somehow got added to Urban Decay's PR list very recently, and last week they sent me the new Urban Decay Kristen Leanne collection. The packaging on this is absolutely stunning. I actually took everything out and left the boxes in here, except I did take these two lipsticks out of their spot. If you're not familiar with her, she is very colorful. What I love about this is that she created a neutral palette and a colorful palette and some highlighters and some lipsticks. Everything is just wow. So I'm going to use some of this today. I'm really excited about it. This is the Daydream palette. If you're looking for a matte neutral palette, this is perfect. It actually even comes with a little brush in here too, which could be very handy. I'm going to start with Daydream as my transition, and what is this? Subscribe in my crease. Actually, before I get started on that, I'm gonna go off camera and do my brows so they are in place. I've been using the IT Brow Power, which I got in my last BoxyCharm. I actually quite like it. I was kind of surprised because it's supposed to be this universal taupe, which you just use a lighter hand if you need it lighter, and I'm surprised that I like it. And now I'm trying the Busy Gal Brows from Tarte. I think this is in the shade Taupe. Yeah, this is the smallest little brow brush spoolie I've ever seen. I am still not quite sure how I feel about it. You almost have to get the entire length right against your skin, and I feel like I always end up going outside my brow line. I don't think I like this that much, actually. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave them like that. There's some kick up with these shadows. I don't mind kick up as long as they blend in smoothly and look nice. This is the Subscribe shade, and I'm just putting it in my crease a little bit further down than the transition. And it is also blending in really nicely. I'm bringing it into that outer corner just a little bit. This is the Kaleidoscope Dream palette. This is the super colorful palette that I have to admit, when I first laid eyes on this before it was actually in my hands, I thought this is a little chaotic for me. It fits Kristen Leanne's personality. It does not fit mine. I like palettes to be very symmetrical. But now that I have it, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking, okay, I really like the colors in here. They're very saturated. I can see a use for this. I can see a place for it. I could see that if you had issues using color or finding places for color, you might be a little overwhelmed by this. If you are one that has very put together palettes and that you might need just pops of color, and don't have a palette for that, I think this would be a really good one to have. So there are two satins in here, this pink and this purple, and then there are two mattes, the orange and the black. And then there are these two holographic shades. Leo, which is on the left, this is this holographic green pearl shift color. And then Brixton, which is here on the right, which is a red, green, pearl shift. And the rest are all metallics. So this could be a really, really interesting and different palette to have, and I'm kind of digging it now, not just because I got it sent to me, but because it's different than anything that I have, and if I want a pop of color for a look, I think it could be really, really cool to have. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to do with this right now. I'm feeling this orange shade and kind of the gold, or even this soft bronze with gold shimmer. This is the orange matte, and then the gold, and then the Corona, which is that bronze with gold shimmer. I barely swirled my fingers in them, and they are that pigmented, but I'm also feeling this navy. So I'm kind of thinking, I'm feeling I might need to do something with that deep, deep blue. That's really pretty. All right, I'm gonna play around with this, figure out what I'm gonna do. I think I'm gonna see if either one of these brushes will work for something. I think I'm gonna take this orange shade. I actually think I'm going to change the sides of the brush. That is a really pretty orange shade, and it's not as intimidating as I thought it would be. The mattes in both of these palettes are really, really buttery. I'm not blending that just yet. Just kind of packing this on the outer corner. So I always try to give you guys looks that are wearable, even if they do have some color in them. I think that's what you guys appreciate about my channel, is that even if I do throw color in here, you can actually wear it. I'm gonna blend that a little bit. I think I'm gonna use Corona with my finger. I got some major fallout when I tried to apply that with my finger. I think I'm gonna go in with that gold. The gold seems a little bit smoother. Oh, that's really pretty. Oh yeah. I actually just put a tad of Brixton, that's that white shifty shade, just a little bit on top of that peachy Corona shade. I don't know why, just for the heck of it. And then I put a little bit on the inner corner. So I'm gonna take a little bit of Daydream and run it along my lower lash line, just as kind of a transition. And then I'm going to take TRM and run it along the lower lash line and smudge it. And then after that, I'm gonna line my top lash line and kind of wing it out, but not too much. I might go through that kind of quickly because I think this video is getting a little bit long. This is where we are right now. I went ahead and put on my mascara, which is the Chanel Le Volume de Chanel mascara. And I went ahead and put on my lip liner, which is my new favorite, or one of my new favorite lip liners, the Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. I love this color. It doesn't alter what I put on top of it, but it's really close to my natural color. It just makes whatever I'm putting over it stay longer, and it just defines my natural lip line better, because when you get older, that lip line starts to fade and get a little bit uneven. And it really helps that, and I do fill in with it too, so that the lip color does last longer. I just realized I forgot to highlight my brow bone, so I'm going to use the shade Lucy right here and just highlight my brow bone really, really quickly. This is a great kind of satiny shade for highlighting the brow bone, and I'm gonna go ahead and do that inner corner really quickly too. I have a really dark inner corner, so any kind of lightness I can put right there on the side of the nose really just helps make my eyes look a little wider and make me look a little bit more awake. For blush, I am using something that I've used many times because I don't really have a new blush going on in my life. I'm using the BECCA Wild Honey. First of all, I love BECCA blushes. Secondly, this is just a great neutral blush to use whenever you have a really bright look going on, whether it be for the lips or the eyes. And I'm using my Wayne Goss airbrush because, my gosh, this brush is just so perfect for applying powder products. A lot of you have been asking me what brush I've been using lately, and this is it. Actually, I've been using this or a Sigma. I think it's F10. What is it? Yeah, F10. Either one of these are the ones that I've been using lately. It just gives such a great diffused, effortless blush application, both of them. So that's pretty much gonna be it for the blush. I think that's even. And there's a highlighter trio in this collection. I will say, if you take your finger through these, they are absolutely stunning. This one right here is a little bit deep for me, but for darker skin tones, I think it would be beautiful. Either one of these are right in my wheelhouse, these two right here. I'm gonna use the lighter one today, but God, that rose goldish one is really, really pretty. I just think it's a little bit deeper than what I wanna do today. So I'm going to take the Wayne Goss 02, this kind of white golden pearl highlighter. Oh, that's pretty. And it doesn't emphasize anything bad. That's good. There are 3 lipsticks in this collection. You have Bun Bun here on the left, which is a really pretty nude, Cloud 9 in the middle, which is this really deep magenta, and then you have Spellbound, which is a deep plum. I'm gonna wear Bun Bun because that just goes better with this look. I am not gonna swatch these. Normally I would. They're gonna be true to color, but I like to try and save things for giveaways if I can, and if I swatch them, I can't do that. Forgive me for that. Bun Bun is what we're going with today. You guys know I like nudes. This is a Comfort Matte. I love their Comfort Matte formula, and this is what they look like, which I love. This works really, really well with this look. It's very neutral. It's not too cool toned. It's not too warm toned. It's just that perfect in-between neutral. I really didn't plan it out beforehand, but this is what I came up with, and I like it. I have really been surprised at how much I like this colorful palette. I will say that the shade Corona was a little bit more chunky than the other shades. Using Fix Plus with it or something to wet it first helps with that shade, but the other shades are so smooth, and I think they can really give a nice, deep, punchy look to really any look you want to create. So I like this. I'm going to update you guys in the description box with this foundation. Let me know if you want an actual foundation road test on this, because I can certainly do that and try it out over the course of a few days, but I like the way it looks. I wouldn't say it's totally full coverage though, but it looks nice and skin-like, I think, with giving some coverage. So this might be the longest get ready with me I've had so far. I hope you like it. I hope you're still here to the end. I'm going to link you to my Get Ready With Me playlist, my foundation road test playlist as well. I have tested tons of foundations out. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you're not subscribed to my channel, please hit that subscribe button, and I will put my social media on the screen and down below so you can follow me over there. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.